Hey, good morning, CSL. Good morning. It is currently time for the opening sing-along, so if you want to find your seats or stand up and dance or dance around the aisles, I don't care. Just as long as you help me sing along, because Yuri and I are a little lonely this morning, and we're hoping for as much help as we can get on this one. So please sing along if you know it. It's very, very popular around these circles.
Recognize that my soul, the inner part of my beingness is welcome here. And where is here? But here is everywhere. Everywhere we are is where we are, right? Right here, right now, I recognize and know that in this space, which is a holy place, that in this place, which is the most transcendent place to be, that I know without a doubt that my soul is welcome here. And so when I know that truth, I am filled with peace, I'm filled with passion, I'm filled with love, I'm filled with joy, I'm filled with happiness. And I understand that no matter what, that this truth is resonating and reverberating throughout the planet. And so when I sing my home, my soul is welcome here, that I know I'm speaking that truth for everybody. When they forget who they are, when they forget where they are, when they forget what's going on, I know that no matter what, this truth reverberates. And so when you sing along with me and know that our soul is welcome here, right now, in this place. Right place. At the right time. Just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place. At the right time. Just where I'm supposed to be. And my soul. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am living the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. So what are you welcoming into your life today? Call it out. Let me hear it. Freedom, joy, love, peace, yes. Huh? Wholeness, and abundance. And so as we claim these truths, we know with gratitude and appreciation that they are reverberating across the nation. That no matter where we are that transcendent truth that is embodying it right here and right now. So let us celebrate it and praise it, because when we do, we accentuate it and we allow it to flow and grow wherever we go. So let's do that again. In the right place, at the right time. Loud
Fantastic. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Your soul is welcome here. Your body is welcome here. Everything, every part of you is welcome. I am Karen Cleveland. I use the pronoun she, her. I am a minister here with Center for Spiritual Living. And for those that don't know me or those that do know me, I just want to say hi, and I'm grateful to be here. And it's always a pleasure to be able to welcome everyone. And for you online, please join in the community. Let us know where you're from. Let us know how you're feeling. Let us know how your Irish coffee is this morning, because as you're watching us remotely. So I would just like to tell everyone in-house, everyone online, if we don't have your connection information, please go ahead and send it to us. You can fill out the cards in the seat backs in front of you. And you will get emails from us, whatever you choose to get based on what you fill out. You can get prayer support. You can get all kinds of good information. Also, please join us on Facebook at 5:30 on Wednesdays, because then you will get the faith lift that comes out every week, kind of get us through the week. Let's see, today is the last day. You may have seen, for those in-house, you may have seen the Gourmets for God table out there. Today is the last day to sign up to be a host or to be a cook. And if you are new to Gourmets for God, it's a really fantastic community building event. You get to meet new people, you get to eat good food, you get to be in community, and it's a lot of fun. I've been doing it ever since it started. I don't know, 12, 14 years ago. I'm not sure when our first season was, but it's been a lot of fun over the years, meeting new people, eating new food, having new experiences. So I encourage you to be a host or to be a cook if you can, if you possibly can. And with that, I would like to introduce our musical guests today. So Rob and Melissa have been doing kirtan for over 10 years. They've been doing it here, Center for Spiritual Living, for over a year. And you can join them the second Saturday of the month live. So please welcome to the stage. Everyone, please welcome Rob and Melissa.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we sing kirtan, which is call and response chanting in mostly Sanskrit or Hindi language. It's a practice of yoga. Today, though, we're going to sing a mashup. It's a song that actually was the song that originally got us singing kirtan. It was a song I wrote over 10 years ago called Breathe. And I played it at a place like this, actually Genesis down in Burien. And a yoga teacher heard it, and she started playing it in her yoga class. And the next thing she did is she invited me to come and sing kirtan at her yoga studio. And I said, sure. And the rest is history. Now we've been singing kirtan for over a decade. And so this song, we're going to incorporate, if you can look up on the wall behind me, we're going to ask you to sing along. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
And so we're going to sing a little bit of that back and forth, call and response. And then there's some English words. You can just listen to that, sing along if you know it. But and that's how we're going to play this one. All right. Everybody sing.
Breathe
Jai Shri Ram.
I'm Abigail Shire. I'm a minister here, and my pronouns are she and her. And my ancestry, if you were going to make a guess by my skin tone, is actually Irish and German and Prussian. And Prussia no longer exists, so I tried to look it up, and it was like it could be Russia, it could be Poland, it could be a whole bunch of other countries, so I don't really know where I'm from. I've not done any of the DNA tests, so I don't actually know that. And I've never been to Germany or Ireland. So here I am, an American, like many of you, who were brought up in this country, which is made up of land of both indigenous peoples and immigrants. And the beauty of this country is that we are diverse, but that also is a huge detriment to our country because we use that diversity against each other instead of benefiting each other. I really am at the edge of something that I wrote this talk about, and I'm not exactly sure how to say it to you, so I'm going to make an attempt. And it's something that I'm struggling with too, but I'm also very passionate about. And it has to do with all of us, and it has to do with what's going on around the world right now, the injustices, the wars, the dehumanization. It's happening here, it's happening all around the world, and it's heartbreaking. And what should a spiritual person do? What should a spiritual person do? And that's my own question. I say my pronouns because I finally got it. I finally got it how when I'm standing for an inclusive community, me saying my pronouns gives permission to somebody who doesn't have maybe a she, her, or he, him pronoun actually feel like they're welcome here. It's a simple act, but it makes the world of difference for somebody in the room or online. And I need to apologize to all my friends whom I have not made that stand for in the past, and that it took me this long to get it. I am really sorry. But I got it finally. And so with your permission, I hope that may we all evolve into knowing what it's like to being an inclusive community more and more every day. And that just doesn't stop at somebody's gender identity. It doesn't stop at sexual orientation or skin color. I'm reading a book right now called Caste. And in the book, it talks about, it has this metaphor. And in the metaphor, Wilkerson is the author. She talks about a metaphor of a house that has fallen into disrepair. And it's like, let's say the house is 100 years old and you purchase the house. Something about an old house is that there's always something going on with it that you inherited. And maybe some of you here understand that because maybe some of you have some of those houses. It's like, wow. And then the one thing that needs to be fixed when they finally figure out the underlying problem, it might be bigger than you thought it was. Well, this metaphor in the book stands for the entire United States and this underlying caste system that we have, which is hard to accept, that we would be a place where we would treat people differently based on financial status or economic status. But in the book, she talks about Martin Luther King, who went to India. And because Martin Luther King wanted to study Gandhi, he wanted to learn from Gandhi. He wanted to learn, like, who is this man who was able to make a revolution happen through nonviolence? And how could he learn how to do that? And he was welcomed as part of the untouchables, which in India is the lowest caste system. And at first he was like, I'm not that. But then he realized in his own country he was treated as the lowest rung on the ladder. And his rights and his benefits were not very good. And he wanted to take a stand for something better. And this is what I want to do today, is I want to take a stand for something better. I am heartbroken about what's going on. I am really heartbroken. And then I read this story of a woman named Etty Hillesum. She's a Jewish Dutch woman. And the Dutch were invaded by the Nazis. And the Jews were rounded up, just as they were in Germany. And they were sent away to Auschwitz to be murdered. And she was watching this happen, and she wrote these journals. She'd started writing these diaries, and at first she was kind of like a person just seeking her own connection with the divine. And she wasn't quite, I don't know, I want to say, was more maybe like one of us who doesn't even know our privilege. Until things started happening that were really heartbreaking. And she finally had a profound spiritual awakening. And in her diary, she wrote this entry. She said, "What the Nazis are after is our total destruction. I accept it. I know it now, and I will not burden others with my fears. I should not be bitter if others fail to grasp what is happening to us Jews. I work and continue to live with the same conviction where I find life meaningful." Yes, meaningful. Although I hardly dare say so in company these days, living and dying, sorrow and joy, the blisters on my feet, and the jasmine behind my house. The persecution, the unspeakable horrors, it is all one in me. And I accept it as one mighty whole. Somehow she found peace in the midst of it all. And that is what I want. I want to find that peace in the midst of it all, because I know that's where it starts. That when I have the peace within me, I know what my next actions are. I am not in a place of retaliation, but I am in a place of conscious action, knowing the truth. The truth of me and the truth of God and the truth of wholeness is that if there is a higher vision that is unfolding, that higher vision does not include war. That higher vision does not include disenfranchisement or othering. It includes deep and abiding love for each and every human on this planet. And that means that I need to find that peace within me. But right now I'm kind of angry. I'm not just kind of angry, I'm really angry. I'm really angry, and I've been struggling with that. And I don't want to demean my anger, because I know that anger has a purpose. And so, what do I do with my anger? I recognize and know that, as Michael Beckwith said, pain pushes until vision pulls. And sometimes I'm in the pain of it. But instead of dwelling in the pain of it, I recognize that I can transform that pain into passion for what I want to see in the world. And so one day I'm angry. The next day I'm passionate. I'm passionate because I can use that fiery intensity inside of me to make a change in this world that I want to see. It's a weird paradox to be in that place where Eddie was, the place of violence, and yet in her internal soul, she was not harmed. And I look around the planet and I see that there's genocide happening in Ukraine. There's genocide happening in Gaza. There's genocide happening in Ethiopia. There's 39 wars happening on this planet. 39. Probably didn't know that because the news is only covering a couple of them, but that's a lot to cover anyway. That's a little overwhelming. So what do we do in the midst of the overwhelm? What do we do in the midst of all of that? I think the most important thing is to recognize is that we are not merely human beings having an occasional spiritual experience. We are multi-dimensional souls. We are in an ocean of pure consciousness appearing as waves in this human reality. And in this human reality as a wave, we are both sacred wholes and sacred parts of the same thing. Can I tap into that? There's a committee that is part of Centers for Spiritual Living Home Office. It's called the Spiritually Motivated Social Engagement Committee, and they took a stand on peace in response to the war. And one of the things they said is we cannot move towards a more peaceful world until we address the underlying causes of violence, inequity, injustice, colonialism, and oppression in all forms. You see, when we have that house and there's something quirky, the roof is leaking or something is happening, we have to go figure out what the underlying issue is. And once we figure out what the underlying issue is, we can address it. And we can change what is going on in order to benefit the entirety of the whole. So when I am looking, I have to keep viewing from this multifaceted viewpoint, saying while I'm bringing rise to this issue that I wasn't quite aware of, that doesn't mean that I'm giving it power. It means I'm bringing it to the surface so I can address it and dispel the truth of it. And the truth is dispelled by God. Now, what is God? What is the essence of God? Maybe you don't call it God. Maybe you call it the universal field. What do they know is the essence of universal field? It springs all life. It is a benefit. It is abundant. It is love. It is peace itself. And when I'm tuned in and tapped into that, I am open to a greater possibility. There's a Sufi poet, Rumi, and by the way, if you didn't know that Sufi is a Islamic tradition, and so he's a Muslim poet, and he said, out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. And the reason why he said that is because there is a very easy way that we can fall into this us and them mentality. I'm doing the right thing. You're doing the wrong thing. Israel is right. Palestine is right. Everybody is wrong. So maybe instead of there being a binary of right and wrong or my way and your way, maybe there is a third way that transcends all of that is possible. I have to believe that the God that created this entire universe and all the planets and all the stars and all the things we don't even understand knows how to create a world where peace prevails. I have to believe that that is possible and that I'm tuned in and tapped into that possibility when I'm connected to my source. So I must be connected to my source in order for something transcendent to happen. they have this idea of a labyrinth. I love a labyrinth. A labyrinth, if you imagine it, sometimes it's just a spiral like our logo, but sometimes it has these little waves. And I love doing this process of walking a labyrinth. And it's kind of funny. It's like, you know, you're going to get to the center. It's, you know, but it's the journey. It's the journey, and when the spiritual practice of walking a labyrinth is you ask a question at the beginning. You ask a question, and as you walk in and you go through the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, or the rounds and rounds and rounds, there is a point when you get to the center. And the center represents the consciousness of our being, where there is a pure essence. And each and every one of us have an essence and a center to our being where there is an answer for it all. And sometimes we go on these weird journeys trying to find it, even though we know we're going to the same place. But somehow we can reach it and find that answer. So I don't know the answer to the wars that are going on, but I do know that I can find it within me, that I can be a place of peace. And I can be a place where peace shows up out in the world through my actions. Not just through my actions, but through changing laws, through voting in people who are in alignment with what I believe I can see in the world as peace and love. And I can't say that our political system is fabulous. It's got flaws. But so do we. I mean, how long did it take me to figure out that she, her thing was an inclusive way for me to start? I have so many friends that I've had for years and years and years who don't identify with the pronouns she and her, and yet I've never said it until this last month. But I finally got it. I recognize that identifying with my nationality or my religion, even my spiritual belief system, can create the us and them mentality. Just because I am spiritual and somebody else is some other religion, that doesn't mean that I'm right and they're wrong. I even looked up, and I didn't do this thoroughly enough, so I probably won't mention the second service, but I looked up St. Patrick because I was like, I don't even know what St. Patrick's Day is about. Like, I love wearing green, and I'm Irish, and yay. But it was like, I don't really know. And it was something about him destroying or conquering the Druid pagans. And I'm like, wait a second. I definitely love those pagans. And the Druids, I mean, they're earth-based people. They worship the sun and the moon and all of the seasons, and they're peace-loving people. I'm like, wait a second. I don't know if this whole St. Patrick's thing is all that great. But, you know, who am I to say anything? So it's really good for us to recognize and know that sometimes we may be worshiping or honoring or putting on a pedestal things that maybe aren't in alignment with our beliefs. And it's hard to admit that I have spoken one thing and then done something else, but hopefully nobody else feels that way. I watched this movie. Now, I'm going to have a spoiler alert. It's called Damsel. It's a great movie. It was good. See? It's called Damsel. And it's a tale, and I still encourage you to watch it, even though I'm doing the spoiler alert thing, about a dragon. So they have this king. He went over and he killed these dragons' eggs because of this vicious creature. And then the dragon killed everybody except the king. And the king was like, hey, give me mercy. And so the dragon's like, all right, you have to sacrifice your 3 daughters for millennia so you can feel my pain. And so they did. And then there's this damsel who's one of the sacrifices, who's like, that's the kind of key of the movie. And she recognizes that she's a sacrifice and how wrong that is. But then she also recognizes how wrong it is that the king killed the dragon's babies. And everybody is mad at each other, and they just keep killing each other over and over and over again. And it doesn't stop. Now, I think our world may be engaged in that kind of behavior, because if I harm you, it gives you permission to harm me, and then if you harm me, then it gives me, and then you harm my family, and then it's like Romeo and Juliet is happening over and over again. And the truth is that we are part of this big human family. And we can't be the place where the revenge shows up. We can't be the place where we are doing actions that are the same actions that we're seeing somebody else do that we don't like. We have to be that person that takes a stand for peace and mean it even when people are doing harmful things. We have to be that place because it will never stop any other way. Are we committed enough to love and truth and peace and this idea of possibility for our world in order to take a stand in alignment with that? Well, I am. I have to be standing in alignment with love and peace. And the movie, by the way, that's why I love this movie so much, is because the damsel girl figures it out and convinces the dragon not to perpetuate that anymore. Although he does kill some people after that, so oh well. Oh well. But you know a great movie that illustrates this is the Lego Movie. If you haven't seen it, I freaking love the Lego Movie. Everything is awesome. So here's the deal. We have to recognize that every choice we make sends ripples through the web of life. That we are a place where consciousness shows up. And that every decision and action we make makes an effect on other people. And can we be a place where those actions of love show up? Can we navigate this labyrinth of our own souls and find the center of who we are? There's a story I want to leave you with. It was the story of an orange tree. And in this village, there was this beautiful orange tree. And it was a place where the tree gave very sweet fruit, but also was a gathering center for the villagers. And they loved this beautiful rolling hills and lush area until one day a drought came upon the village. And there was a shortage of food and water. And the orange tree started to wither, and the fruit did not bear that year. And in the scarcity, the villagers began to quarrel over the remaining resources. Until a wise woman came in and gathered up the villagers. And she told a parable of an ancient forest where all the trees were interconnected with an underground network of roots. And when one tree was suffering, the nutrients from other trees would go through the root system and provide sustenance for the tree that was suffering. And because the trees did that, the entire forest survived and thrived. And the villagers saw their own interconnectedness. And they realized that by fighting against each other, they were only hastening their collective demise. Their lives were intertwined. They were deeply connected to each other. Now, this is our story. There is climate change happening around the planet, and what happens when climate change transfers everything, then the people who are the poorest suffer, and people go to war over resources because there's not enough. But we have to recognize that when there is a challenge of resources, it is incumbent on us to share what we have, to give of what we have to support others, because there is enough. Because this world, this God thing didn't make a pie that when a piece is missing, then everybody suffers. It is a pie that when a piece is taken out, it continues to be whole. I know it may not make sense in your mind, but trust me, that's how God works. That's what infinite is. And so, to complete this talk, I encourage you to tap into your inner sanctuary and to recognize if you're angry at things, like I am, that anger can be transformed into a passion for what we want to create in the world. That we have the ability to change what's going on in the world by changing what's going on in ourselves, our country, and our planet. It's all very interconnected. And any action that you feel is in alignment with peace and love is the action to take that supports the whole. So whatever your actions are, and they will be different for everybody, I encourage you to take a stand for those actions, to take a stand for peace and to take a stand for love, and to recognize everybody on the planet who is in war is suffering, all of them, unless they have found their inner core as well, and they're also taking a stand for peace. So I encourage you to step away from the us versus them mentality and to live as a clear conduit for the light. By being spiritually anchored in who you are and to take action to address anything that you see that is happening that may be indicating that the roof is leaking and that you want to be a place where that different idea shows up. Are you willing to do this with me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thanks for listening today. Told you I'm fired up. So let's pray. So going around that inner labyrinth of my mind, allowing the spiral to take me to my center, that place. The place where love shows up, the place where I belong. I belong as a human participant in the co-creation of this planet. And I know that when I'm tuned in and tapped into that divine source for good that is infinite, I become a place where transformation happens. I become a place where action happens. I become a place where revival happens. Because a revival is a place where the life is lifted, where I look up and I see possibility and I am guided towards that vision of a world that works for everyone. And while it is painful to be in the midst of it, I recognize and know that I can be a place where the change happens. It happens in me and through me and by me, but it's not just me. It's through the infinite source that is in and through each and every person on this planet, that we are pillars of light, that we are interdimensional beings that are waves in an ocean of consciousness. And so as we tune into our awareness that is much bigger than the self, we tune into the greater awareness of love that transcends all boundaries and that allows us to see and feel and to know the souls of others as a part of ourselves. And so I'm grateful to see and know this truth, to know that it deeply, profoundly allows me to be, to move, and to love freely. And in this truth, I'm grateful to know it for myself and to know it for all of us here. And so it is. Thank you.
So this is a perfect time to sing together a prayer for peace. This is an ancient prayer from the Vedas, many thousands of years old. I think it's going to come up on the screen. There it is. So it goes like this. Please repeat after me. Asato ma
Asato ma
sadgamaya
sadgamaya
tamaso ma
tamaso ma
jyotirgamaya
jyotirgamaya
mrityorma
mrityorma
amritam gamaya.
amritam gamaya.
Om Shanti Shanti Om.
Om Shanti Shanti Om.
So it means, please, Lord, lead us from untruth to truth. Lead us from the darkness into the light, and lead us from death to immortality. Peace, peace. So please, Melissa is going to sing the first round, so you can hear the melody, and then please join in.
We're going to start with 3 ohms together. Let's inhale.
Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. One more time. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Om. singing Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Om. Om Shanti Shanti Om. Om Shanti Shanti Om. More of that, huh? Whew. Well, I'm grateful for the peace that is continually rippling out because of your music. Yeah, thank you. And I have a couple of quick announcements for you before we leave today. First of all, I want to acknowledge those people online, those who checked in. We have Blessed, Bill, Michael, Lanita, and Donna. So thank you for being a part of our online community, our greater community. And today we have something really special happening after second service. If you want to go home or go do some errands for a while and come back, we're having a potato bar that is a fundraiser to benefit our Next Thought folks who are here, and that's our 18 to 35-year-olds who want to go to CBAC. So if you want to help support them and you want to have lunch together in community, I encourage you to come back after second service or go downstairs and just make a donation. Either way works. We accept both and all. In addition, the Create a Better World Spring into Service signups begin today. So downstairs, you can check the annual Spring into Service fair that's happening. We have lots of service projects, and I want to mention that the Earth Action team is downstairs. They want to take a survey of you because they want to know what actions you are committed to for the Earth, and there's a lot to cover. So what is this community most passionate about? So they want to survey you, they want to find out more so that we can take actions that are in alignment with what the collective is interested in. In addition, next week is our annual meeting of members and our community conversation. That's at 12:15 on Zoom. If you are here during second service, we will have the sanctuary open, the big screen up, so people can watch in person on Zoom. So we'd love to have you as well. And we'll recognize the contribution of our trustees, our staff, our volunteers, and we'll have an election of new board members. And they are some pretty amazing folks who are coming up to be elected, if I say so myself. I got to interview them, and we have some great humans in this place. In addition, I wanted to remind you that we have a Good Friday service and an Easter Sunday service. So Friday, March 29th at 7 p.m., please come to our Good Friday service. And we'll be initiating higher wisdom. Come as an initiate. Sorry, I can read this. Come as an initiate to higher wisdom for an interactive service on Friday. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's going to be really cool because Kathy Ann just came back from Egypt, and so who knows? Something cool is going to happen. And then on Easter, we're going to be rising together, which is the message of Jesus, and that we have the power to roll away the stones of cultural beliefs and habits, and we can be made new. So please come on Easter Sunday. Bring your family, bring your friends. You know, we're not like other places, so it's going to be really cool and interesting and fun. So I would encourage you to come. All right, so now it is time for our gifts, tithes, and offerings, and I would love to invite, who do we have? Brad? Where's Brad? Or somebody? Somebody's coming forward with the offering basket. It is Brad! Yay! All right, and this is our time where we give our gifts. You can come up to the front. If you don't have money or you're giving online, you can always give a blessing. There's something that you can give. So we encourage you to come up, bless the offering basket, and know that truly whatever your gift is, if you just hold it over your heart right now or your intention, just know with me that this is a gift that blesses and multiplies and prospers every single person who is in this community and beyond. And for that, I'm grateful. And so it is. So feel free to come on up.
My name is Alex Perlman. I am he, him. And I identify as connected to that one conscious cause that lives within each one of us. And so, in great gratitude, I stand before you today to let you know that the container that is this spiritual community is always open for you, whether you join us online or in person. We have prayer support available for you today for whatever has come up for you during this service. If you'd like in-person prayer support today, just come to the front after the service here to my left. And if you'd prefer just to leave a written prayer request, you can do that at the practitioner table at the back of the room. And so I just breathe deep gratitude for this day, for everything that has come before, and the blessings that this message carries to the world as we go into it being blessed ourselves. I call our time together good, and so it is. Om Shanti Shanti Om.
All right, everybody, it's time for the closing sing-along, so please sing along. That's all I have to say. 1, 2, 1, 2. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yeah, you're making up Irish music. 'Cause I don't actually know any.